Welcome back to CNN Student News. I am Evan Miller.
And I am Brady Chuck.
And we're going to take you on a journey through Wakarusa, Indiana,
where we will learn about the local government, how it's set up, the daily lives of the politicians in office, and how they got interested in politics.
We're also going to study the history of Wakarusa and how complex it is, as well as how it affects the lives of people today.
And how it affects the local businesses that have stood around.
Now that we have all that covered, we are heading to Wakarusa, Indiana.
Why do you keep rubbing me? All right.
Welcome to the Town Hall of Wakarusa. Here we are going to ask Town Manager Jeff Troxel a few questions.
Here we are live at the Wakarusa Town Hall. In a moment, we are going to do an interview with Town Manager Jeff Troxel.
Good, how are you?
And I'm just going to ask you some questions.
Sure.
Now, our first question is, how does the population impact how the government is run?
Some of the town is run on property taxes that we get, so obviously the more population, the more growth that we have with homes and businesses, that gives us revenue to run the town.
Mm-hmm. And how does a typical day in the office go?
I don't know if there's a typical day. It just depends. We usually have a morning meeting in the morning with the police chief and the maintenance supervisor and the clerk treasurer. But from there, it depends what projects we have going. Sometimes we have street projects going that we have to check on, or building projects, fielding complaints. We have that. A lot of my time is sometimes spent out of the office, where I'm meeting with county officials and state reps from down in Indy. So.
Mm-hmm. And I've had this question on my mind. What are the differences between local and national government?
Well, federal government's a lot larger. Obviously, they deal with more what do I want to say? Having the military. You know, we don't have anything like that. But basically, a lot of things are the same. You have a legislative branch. So our town council is our legislative branch. Mm-hmm. In a city where you have a mayor, he would be your executive. Here at the town of Wakarusa, it is the council president is the executive. And then of course you have judicial, which we don't have a city judge here, but a lot of city judges, and then you move through the county and the state. So other than that, I mean, we provide a lot of things that the federal government doesn't provide: water, sewer, police. Of course, they have the FBI, but we have our local police and fire and things like that, trash pickup. So that's the things that we provide.
Yeah. What are some of the complaints or problems that people have asked you to help fix?
It is anywhere from low water pressure, or their sewers aren't working right, so they contact us to find out if it's their issue or if it's the town's issue. Sometimes we'll get complaints on employees. A lot of times we get complaints on the neighbor not mowing the yard. So we have to deal with that. We have ordinances about how high your grass can get before you get fined and things like that. So for the most part, that's kind of what it is. I've said when I've been interviewed before, my job, I talk with, like I said, state representatives. I've spoken with the governor, all the way down to dealing with lawn mowing, parking issues. So, I mean, it just runs a whole gamut. So,
yeah. What impact do you think the local government has on the citizens?
Well, and again, I think with the services we provide, impacts the citizens a lot. We have, like I said, we have trash pickup, we have police, we have fire, our maintenance supervisors, our maintenance department, they take care of the parks. So we have parks that the citizens can go be involved in, and just overall maintenance of the city itself. So that's how we implement it.
And the last question I want to ask you are, what are some of the responsibilities that come with working in the office?
I work for the council. So they hired me, so they have other jobs. So when there's things that need to be handled, I handle them on a daily basis. If there's things that I need approval from them, obviously I notify them, or we have our town board meetings where they'll approve those type of things. So that's kind of the responsibilities with this office. Sure. That's it, huh?
And I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. And the first question I'd like to ask is, who founded Wakarusa?
We said, well, the post office was the first foundation that was in Wakarusa, and it was 3.5 miles to the north on the same road. So, I guess it would be United States Post Office had to be first.
They started, and it gets
Yes.
confusing. There's
does.
a long story to get to Wakarusa. The post office was formed in 1849, before Wakarusa was ever officially a town. They called it Mount Olive. It was, what, 3.5 miles up the road?
3.5 miles, yeah.
Then it became Salem. And officially
town
was
did.
founded in 1852. So that's the year Wakarusa, even though it was called Salem, was founded in 1852. But then after 7 years, they found out, oops, there's already a Salem in Indiana. So they had to come up with a new name. And that's where the origin of the name comes in. There's a couple different stories.
What year was Wakarusa founded?
1852, when it was still called Salem, but it was officially recognized as a town in 1852.
And how does the history of Wakarusa impact life here today?
We really struggled with this question. Yeah, there's probably three of us with three different answers here. What I find interesting about the current life in Wakarusa is that, other than technology has changed, there's still a sense of kinship around here, and community and closeness that was probably just as intact back then as it is now. Everyone looks out for each other, neighbors look out for each other, whether you know them or not, you look out for each other. I don't think that's changed much since 1852.
And we all value preserving our history. And some of the things like Maple Syrup Festival and downtown Halloween party have been going on for years and years and years, just to honor who we are and to celebrate our community.
Yeah!
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. Well, we are back from Wakarusa, Indiana.
Yep, today's journey reminded me of when I was a baker.
Really? You used to be a banker?
Yeah, but I lost interest.
Oh, that's too bad. You know, when I grew up and was about the age when you were a banker, I always dreamt of being in the government. I mean, it would have been so much fun. Because there were so many parties.
Yep, those parties.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways, we are Evan Miller.
And Brady Chubb signing off from CNN Student News.
Alright, here today I am with,
Amy Wanger,
Amy Wanger.
Linda Spiker,
Spiker,
and Deb Shively.
Deb Shifley.
Sorry, we didn't introduce you very well.
That's fine.